We created a form which we simply set up in JavaScript and which we then handle dynamically with our own input component and our input changed handler, where we immutably update any affected form elements. Now let's make sure we can also submit this form. For that we have the button with the clicked handler, and I don't want to use the clicked handler. There actually is a onSubmit event handler we can use on the form itself. And there I want to now execute the method we used for that, the order handler, onSubmit. Now in the order handler, I now of course still want to prevent the default. We still get an event object here automatically passed by React. And I want to prevent the default because I don't want to send a request automatically. That would reload my page. Instead, I now need to extract the data I want to submit. And the cool thing is all the data is already managed in the state in our form object here, which is updated all the time with two-way binding. The value is updated at least, and the value is certainly what I'm interested in. I can create a new constant, let's maybe name it form data, and there I want to get the data from my state. And I want to basically get my order form object here, though I don't care about the element type and the element config. I just want to get the name and then the value directly mapped to each other. So I will transform it a little bit. For this, form data can be an empty object initially, and then I'll loop through my form. So there I'll have my form element identifier in this state order form. So this very long form element identifier is simply email, country, and so on. And then I want to set form data for a given form element identifier equal to this state order form for the form element identifier, and there access the value. So I simply create key value pairs where I add a new property to form data, a property like country, like email, and so on. And I set the value of that property not equal to an object, but simply to the value the user entered. And now with this, I have that simple mapping. I can now use that to submit it. So here, my form data, this is in the end what I want to pass. So there I'll add an order data property to my order object and set this equal to form data. And now let's see if this works in the way I want it to work. Let's also go to Firebase for that. So I'm in Firebase, here are my orders. Let's now add a new order and see if that works. For that, I'll go through the full process. I'll create a burger, click order now, continue here, and then set up some data here. Street zip code, some random code, United States maybe, test@test.com. Let's pick cheapest here and click order. We are redirected. Let's now have a look at Firebase. A new order was added, and there we have order data where we indeed have all these mappings, where we have the data the user entered. So submitting the form works just fine and in a very dynamic way. Look how easy it is to add a new input. You simply add a new property to your order form in the state, set up the element type, configure it here, and assign a value. And you quickly added a new input. And of course, since this is in the state, you can even manipulate this order form immutably at runtime. So you can dynamically add new properties and hence new inputs, or remove them, or change the configuration. That is why such a dynamic way of creating a form is so awesome.